Yo, good morning, Nick. No, Adam. Second phase, whatever you want to call it, in the unit. So stud walls up this side, which you saw from the last video. Just finished off this side, still going to be painted black. But I'm not going to board that side yet because I've got to run some cables. But today is the day when Mr. Scissor Lift comes in. This is an 8-metre one. There we go, up to 8 metre. So it's just been dropped off. I've just prepped a few of the lights. So JCC sent me the Tough Bay retrofit 150 watt bay lights with a microwave sensor on it. It comes with a remote, which is here. So I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to put one here, right at the front, one in the centre, and I think I'm going to put one on this beam here. This one, I'm on an iron really. I mean, like as usual, myself, I keep changing my mind every 5 seconds because this is going to be studio lit, so internally for studio lights, but then it would be handy to have a light over the top. So maybe I put one here on a separate switch, which would be sort of center over the top, and then one there, and then one on there. That should be plenty enough light to drop down over this area. So what I'm going to do first, isolate the supply for the lights. And it is going to get dark. I've shut the door, that will let some natural light in, but there's that much noise going on outside. See how dark it gets. Have a look, that's not too bad. These can do with a bit of a wash though, not gonna lie. So I'm going to charge all my stuff up. I've got these off Amazon, these are the little hooks, so I'm going to self-taper these straight into the metal. I've got some carabiners, ordered some chain. I'm going to cut these down. They're going to drop down about 1 metre from the ceiling. That was sort of the specs that JCC told me to do for the size of the room, for the best spread of light, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to get my, obviously, test for dead, make sure that's not going to become live. One by one. This one here is going to come off first. That is just tapped off this one, which you see the white flex. That's going to be pulled down. That's that conduit. Eventually, I'm going to take this all down. And this is going to be a waffling a bit, so just stay with me because I need to explain this. The problem is people get annoyed that I talk too much, but equally I need to explain everything, or halfway through a job people go, oh, what are you doing that? It's like, well, let me get there. I brought the high tough cable. So the reason with this is, this is 4mm. So we're going to do a 32 amp 4mm radial circuit for the sockets, and that's a 1.5 for the lights. I'm going to do tray work in the next video, or the video after. I'm not going to run it in armoured. I've got some metal clad double sockets turning up today. We're going to stuff them down to the top. We're going to use the high tough cable, purely the fact because I want the look, the aesthetic look of the tray work, and but I don't want to gland all the arms off and waste money on that because there is no reason for it here. It's all going to be run high level. There's no operating machinery in here. It's literally just me. Most of the sockets are going to be here. It's just storage, so it doesn't need to be in proper impact like it would on cable. So it's the first time using the high tough cable stuff. Only reason I ever found out is because you lot all mentioned it to me, which is fantastic, so thank you for that. So let's get a start. I'll get the continuity tester out. I'll test for dead, prove dead. We'll start ripping them down. Right, so move this into position. Right, hold on. Look how filthy that is. Someone needs to jet wash. Right, I'm going to use 2 hands obviously, so I'm going to put this down. So this is literally just hooked across here. I'm going to snip that off, pull that back, go to that one, just work our way around. There's 1, 2, 3 of these lights, and then there is a chain over here, which you can just about see there. I'll have a look, I'll take it over there and have a look in a bit. So yeah, it's a decent eye, isn't it? Right, one down, that's that one. The other one, it was literally just hooked on there, and I'll be honest with you, like I've said in the previous video, I've not done commercial or industrial stuff like this for about 8 to 9 years. So when I start doing the tray work, don't judge me. I'm going to ask a few people for advice, but I'm not doing uni strut. It'll probably just be a couple of washes off the wall just so I can get cable ties behind it. But it's stuff like this. I'm not going to do any conduit stuff because it's just not necessary. I've got metal, what they call them, P-clips, the self-tappers. That's going to do all the cabling. You can see how rusty this has got over the years. I know the camera angle, the light is shocking, but that's rusted to hell. Right, now they're all down, they're down. I'm gonna get rid of all that conduit down there and down there. I'm just gonna angle grind that off because eventually all this tray work is going, trunking work. Come across, just take the impact up, get rid of these, and then we can start lasering up and lining up where we wanna put our new fixings. Cut the chain down, put the hooks on the end, they're all 1 metre long. And then the D-clips will screw into the ceiling, and then the big thingy-mabob, I knew what it was called earlier, is just going to clip on the top. Micro sensors pointing down, I've screwed them on. This will be self-tapping to the side, and we literally just bring our flex in the end. Right, on to the next step. So now all them fittings have been taken down. Actually, I've left the conduit box up there because they're bolted through it with a nut, and the nut is completely rusted to hell, so unfortunately they're staying. So I've measured out centre of the room, which is 295, pencil mark on the floor. I also did a pencil mark, you won't be able to see it, it's just there on the stud work, so I can get dead centre. So let's see how good the Bosch laser is. Just change the setting, puts our centre there, and right, oh. Right there is our centre on the wall. So, I don't know what you can see on camera, but that's lit the ceiling more than I could have hoped for, perfectly. So we're gonna get some D-rings, gonna get some self-tappers. We're gonna go off this first one here, and then the second one there, and then we'll do one in the bay over there, but that's gonna be switched separately. So we've got our self-tappers, we've got our D-rings, we've got our chains, so we're gonna hang them up as well so we can sort of get a visual on them, get the impact. Leave the laser set up, we'll pop up there, and then I'll show you once we're up there. So you can see our perfect laser line up there, from down there. Sweet, this goes across, so we're just gonna get the D-clip. It's got 4 holes, I'll just use the 2. That's gonna sit there. Actually no, I'm gonna put it lengthways, do the 2 outside holes, get them self-tapped in, hang the chain. There we have it, nice and solid. So what we'll do, stick the box for the fitting, which has got the controller mount in it, on the inside. We'll run the cable on the inside there, drop it down. It's going to be literally drop down for now until I can get that tray work in. But yeah, it's just a good measure of what we're going off. It's nice and strong, there's no way it's coming down. Just got the other 2 to do now. There we have it, 3 chains. Before I forget as well, I need to make sure that before this goes back, I run a supply for an outside light up there, because last night when I went home, the lads on the unit on the end, they've got some lights, but it is absolutely pitch black across here. So just make sure I just run a supply down, to have a switch here, permanently on. I actually have a Robus 100 watt flood, PIR flood at home, so that'll work here, be nice and bright. So yeah, next thing, I'm gonna get the high tough cable, stick it on the new runner. This should work absolutely perfectly for this. But to keep it up here, I've got some metal P-clips here. So you can sit around there, put some self-tappers on the metal, keep that secure. And then I'm just going to drop all the feeds down for the time being. I am going to connect them together so I can get them live. Just literally stick them on a plug top for the time being to see if the chains need altering. This one will be fine, that's 1 metre. I'll make sure that one's not too low, whether or not I've got half that, and equally whether or not I've got half this one, but it's trial and error for me. Like I say, I don't do this very often. We're winging it today, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's so much fun with this. So I've used loads of these in the past, a lot more petrol ones. I've had all the training prior to using one of these, but this is literally a baby one. I've used the big ass boys before. But yeah, great bit of help. A lot better than paying for a scaffold and moving that around. The fact that I can use this by myself makes things 100 times easier. I've got one light up, that's up, it's pinned across. All I've done is, like I did with the metal P-clips, self-tapped it across, laid it on the inside of the tray, done 3 joints in it? No, 3 connectors on it. They're not connectors. P-clips, the cable clips, the metal cable clips, across and around, and then I've just put one on the top of the wall, one on the bottom of the wall. That's temporary, that's not going to stay like that, so don't shout at me. Enough length to come back. I put that one up to give it a test run. So I done a, let me get these off. I did 1 metre worth of chain, but the meter with the chain didn't work because I never measured the cable that comes off. Let me just show you over here. So the cable obviously comes off. The light fitting itself isn't meter. So I've just shortened it to what it needs to be. That one's gonna have to go up. So what I'm gonna do is just double the chain up, put it back up, put the clip around it, and then the sensor hang off the side. I'll probably come back and do this one now. So when I'm up there, I'll just run you through what it looks like. Right, so at the top here, see what I see with, oh, there we go. Loop the chain over, I'll cut this excess off. I've looped it around, you can see the self-tappers and the P-clips. They come with Wagos in them, believe it or not. So this will all, I'll use the extra carabiner here, that's the word I was looking for earlier. I'll loop these up, I'll put a P-clip in them just to tidy them up out the way. Loop these in there, make sure that's flat. That's it really, so there's 2 done. Last one to do is the one over there and run the cable, but that one is being switched separately. So these 2 will be on together, but like I said before, I'm just gonna sit these in the plug, get them working before I start playing with all the electrics. That boy's up. Brought that down, left on a flex to go round. I've got all 3 drops here. I've got to do another one up here for the outside light, which I haven't forgotten about, and then also I've got to run lighting feed to the toilet, because obviously I've cut that off now as well. So there's more than enough left on the drum. To fit the bigger drums on, you just unclip the top of that off and it just sits on. It's worked a dream. So I'm going to literally now, just got an AD box, just going to knock out, put some 20mm stuffing bands in, just put some big ideal 5-way ideals on that, stick a plug on the end, plug it in for the time being, get some light in here, get them working, play with the remote and the sensor to see how we're getting on with it, and give them a go and see how much light kicks out. I say, the guys from JCC said 2 is enough. I've gone for 3, just to be on the safe side. Like I say, this is going to be switched separately at some point, just to give me a bit of light of the studio space. But yeah, I'm really chuffed with it. It's gone in really well. That's been a godsend. I've enjoyed myself on it, to be fair. I've had my headphones in, listened to podcasts throughout the day. Just a nice, chill day. And yeah, also, I hope you guys are all doing all right. You've had a nice Christmas and you've got everything you desired, and Adam's not left me alone, he's been on the phone every day. Good lad. Hi Adam, when you're watching this, you better be watching this. So yeah, let me get this on, plug it in, and we'll give it a test. Right, ready? There's my box, those are my leads. It's obviously flapping around in the wind because it's not going to go over there yet. We'll bang it on. Ha ha! And that is awesome. Look how bright that is. Just over here. Oh, so this is the dimming function. So this is the microwave sensor on it. So if I move now, that'll come on. I've obviously got the remote to change all the settings and whatnot. What I got told from the guys at JCC is they're very similar to the lights that I would say I've referenced to, the ones that are being used. So when an aisle's not being used, there's no one in it, the lights would dim down. These do the same thing. When there's no movement, they dim down to 50%, I think. I might be able to change all the settings, but obviously once there's then motion, it kicks back in. Hence why I wanted them on that, going to be on a different circuit, so I can operate that if I'm filming in there, and these can stay on, but these will dim down. So let me get the remote out, have a play, figure out what's going what, and I'll report back. Okay, so here's our remote. So you got on off, so I've just turned them all off, literally from the remote itself. So I might not actually have to put a separate switch in. I might have just to wire that in, and then as I want that off, when I want that off, I can just point. So if I just point to this one, on. Wow, that's bright. Off. This is what I'm going to get now because I put these 2 quite close together. That's right, I'm now blinded. Let me turn one on so we can see what we're doing on the remote. Quick settings, so you can do your quick settings, area detection, so obviously the range that you want you to pick you up at. Hold time, I'm not quite sure that is yet, but I will look. Dim level, so once it dims down to what percent it's going to dim down to. See, these 2 are already turned off. Oh, no they haven't. Shut up, mate. Standby period, yeah, and then the daylight sensor and the lux. So I'll have a good read of the remote, the instructions, which men don't really do, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's awesome. They chuck out so much light. Look at that. Happy days. I'm just looking forward to getting all this done now. I think I'm going to get the scissor lift back up while I've got it, do that up there, and then run the cable round. And that'll do for this video. So I've just realised as well, on the outside, someone's already drilled, there was an outside light up there. And I'm just going to poke the cable through that for now. and that can just drop down straight to here, and I'll be able to access that with my large steps when I bring them over at some point. Yeah. So I've just banged that in there for now. That's nothing's connected. Everything's just looped down, ready to go into the board. So yeah, main wiring done. You can see the loop on top of the bathroom. That's run around. Obviously, just went for tray work now. And all in all, absolutely over the moon with the lights. There's so much light in here. You can see how dark it was before compared to the old strip lights as well. The last thing I'm going to do, which won't be on this video, the JCC also sent me the radial LED rapid. I think that's how you say it. But this is the new one that they've gone through. So this is the one that they have asked loads of tradesmen about. They've listened and put loads of stuff on it, like entry points all the way around, removable block inside, clips that make it easier on and off. So that's going to go in the bathroom at some point because the one in there is awful. But yeah, I hope this has been a nice video. Genuinely, I've really enjoyed myself today. I've still got this for a bit. All the scaffolding and all the boards that I turn up very soon. That's why I'm ending the video now. I will make a separate video of me framing all this up, but I think what I'm going to be doing with that will be on my other channel, be on Sparks Fly, with building the workbenches, building the tables and everything. It's not electrical related. This is to a point. Obviously, I've been putting lights up. So yeah, have a good new year, and I'll see you all soon.